This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life. Right. Hello everybody, it's Paul Nison with the Raw Life Health Show, and I am so excited about my today's guest. This is Carissa Kranz. So besides the BVeg website, is there any other contact information you want to give out, or any other passionate thing that you want to talk about that you have a passion for?
Well, I have my vegan law book coming out this year.
Okay, tell me about your vegan law book.
So we have a book that's being published in this year, 2020. It's called Vegan Law, Know Your Rights, and it's with Vegan Publishing House. And it's one chapter is vegan label law and the need for certification. The rest of the book really goes into some interesting legal aspects about veganism that have yet to be defined, that need to be defined, and that will be defined in the future. Subjects such as vegan family law. What happens when one parent is vegan and one parent's not, and they get divorced? Who determines the nutrition of the child? Vegan immunizations, vegan patient rights, the right for vegan food to be served at places of public accommodation like prisons, schools, which in my opinion is almost like the Americans with Disabilities Act, right? It's necessary to accommodate those with disabilities because it's a protected class. Veganism right now is not a protected class. We have zero constitutional rights. The goal of the book really is to draw the line and explain why veganism really does need to be a protected class. Like, here's another example. You go to Burger King right now and you order the Impossible Burger and they give you meat, right? If you're a vegan, you right now have zero constitutional protection or any legal right for damages, because what's the damage unless you got deathly ill? You got your feelings hurt. It's kind of made fun of. But if you ate a hamburger, but thinking it was the Impossible Burger or Beyond Burger or Veggie Burger, and you were Hindu and Indian, then you have strict scrutiny, you're a constitutional class, and you're entitled to all sorts of damages because you're a protected class. But vegans are not a protected class. So the book also addresses issues about, what's the difference between, religion, race, sexual orientation, gender, disability. I mean, throughout the years, the American Civil Rights Act has expanded, right? I mean, we've expanded to gender rights, gender equality, gay equality, disability equality, and I think it's time to expand the Constitution more to protect the rights of not wanting to hurt others.
So is the goal to get this book in lawmakers' hands?
Yeah, the goal of the book so the title is Vegan Law, Know Your Rights, because people need to know their rights.
But are there rights? You say there's no law.
Well, what were the rights during the Civil Rights Movement? There were no rights. But if people look at the Constitution and the intended law, absolutely there are rights. Human law is an intended version of these higher laws, right? There are these laws that our Enlightenment thinkers wrote down and transcribed for us to be as a guide. And they say that the Constitution is a living, breathing document because it is supposed to evolve. Well, it is time that the document evolves to encompass the vegan rights movement and the animal rights movement.
Sure, but you being a lawyer, so if I say, I don't want my kids raised vegan, and now I'm divorced, and I don't want my ex-spouse to feed him anything but vegan food, if I come to you as a lawyer, can you say, well, we got a case, we can present to the judge?
Right now, so there will never be a clear defined case until there's a case that then has a determination that then gets appealed, that then travels up to the Supreme Court, that has an ultimate determination which will then define the law. So right now, if a vegan is served a hamburger at Burger King thinking it's not a hamburger, they have a case. They may not have a clear case based on what damages are going to be, but they absolutely have a case to change the law. Just like when you look at Prop 8 I worked at the California Supreme Court when the whole Prop 8 came down, and gay rights and gay marriage and all that. And no one could change the law about gay rights until there was a case, because you have to have standing. So the way to change the law and define a law for a vegan is actually for a vegan to be injured. And even though the law won't define it as an injury, they need to be injured. They need to have a lawyer that's going to see them as injured, and then they're going to have to litigate that case. They're going to have to get a decision, and that
decision is going to make the law or base the law.
That decision will either, so if the decision goes in favor of the vegan, then it's probably not going to be appealed, but that'll be a holding decision that will then persuade another jurisdiction that has a case like that, and then another jurisdiction, and then that becomes controlling law.
Sure.
And then once it's controlling law, that's when it can travel up to the Supreme Court and get appealed, overturned, and then
once it gets there, it becomes a law or not. Once it gets there.
The Supreme, right, because otherwise it goes jurisdiction by jurisdiction. Just like, honestly, it's just like gay marriage. It went jurisdiction by jurisdiction by jurisdiction until the jurisdictions were in conflict, and then it went to the Supreme Court, and then there was a decision. That's the way it's going to work. And it's going to be a process. So this book is going to just kind of start the conversation.
And when is the book going to be available?
This year. We're on deadline.
And for those of you that are watching this, we're in 2020. Where can people find out? Is there a website for the book?
Go to beveg.com and you can see it. Vegan Publishers also is the publishing house.
And I'll be having the book as soon as it's out, so I'll let you know for my audience.
Yeah, so I think it's a thought-provoking book. I think it's kind of historical too.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I appreciate you so much for taking the time to do this because I know you're just a little busy. So thank you very much. And well, when we started this interview, everybody, I said Superwoman, and now you know why, and I'm sure you agree. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.